Welcome to the Big Movie Mouth-Off. We're here at Brewie's Cinema Pub reviewing more movies. We're sponsored by PC Laptops. I'm Jeff Weiss from MSN Entertainment.
I'm Jimmy Martin with Slug Magazine. You can find Big Movie Mouth-Off on Xfinity Channel 6 and also on their on-demand system, which is under Utah On Demand and Salt Lake Alternative, or nestled down there just waiting for you.
On the program today, we're reviewing the films Win Win and Super, but we're starting with the movie Water for Elephants, a drama based on the Sarah Gruen bestseller. It's a drama in which Robert Pattinson plays a would-be veterinarian during the Great Depression, runs away to the circus, and falls in love with their star performer played by Reese Witherspoon.
And she's married to Christoph Waltz, who is the ringmaster of the circus.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most spectacular show on earth.
Excuse me, sir, can we help you? You know circuses?
1931. It was the Benzini brothers.
That's the most famous circus disaster of all time. Are you telling me that you were there for...
Right in the middle of it. I don't know if I picked that circus, but something told me that circus picked me.
The world's run on tricks. Everyone plays.
You're a beautiful woman. Deserve a beautiful life.
A star, George. Out there, I got nothing.
And so here's my thing. We've named all the people, the main stars in this one, and it's my three-tier system right when I saw it. It's Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, who you might remember from Inglourious Basterds.
Right, amazing actor. Everything he touches turns to gold. Reese Witherspoon, who, for me, I can flip-flop with her. I mean, there's kind of like two Reese Witherspoon personalities. There's
Right.
Legally Blonde 2, and then there's like Walk the Line. And so she can give a great performance when she
Right.
wants to and not when she tries. And then there's down in the dirt, Mr. Robert Pattinson, who has never, ever even gained any interest of any character he's ever played for me. You probably know him from Twilight. I know him because I hate Twilight. But he actually pulls a good performance out of it, and it's surprisingly so. But I think the reason he gives a good performance is because whenever you put an actor in the room with Christoph Waltz, I don't think he will let you walk out of that room with nothing less than okay.
You ride my train, you eat my food without my permission, while hard-working men labor all day for the same privileges. And these filthy roustabouts are my family. You are an intruder. Next stop, throw 'em off. Probably studied poetry.
Studied veterinary science, not poetry. And I can tell you one thing. That star attraction horse of yours, it's not going to be walking in a few weeks, let alone performing.
Earl, wait. Veterinary sciences. What school?
Cornell.
You're a Cornell graduate?
He did work the rubes for me this afternoon. Pretty good.
I'm sure Ringling has his own.
Yeah. You're saying that he's a performer who elevates his
It's
co-stars.
true. It's very true.
Speaking of people who can pull out better than expected performances and turns with material, it's directed by Francis Lawrence, who also directed Constantine and I Am Legend, both of which were better films than they had any right to be, especially based on the script. And here he works with some very familiar material and does things with it that make it better than it should be. However, he is hamstrung by one thing that I really hate in films, and that is the present-day wraparound sequences.
Yeah.
Here, Hal Holbrook plays the older version of Robert Pattinson's character, which really strains credibility for me because at no time do I ever believe that Robert Pattinson could turn into Hal Holbrook. Ever.
I still think that he's like 100 years old, so Robert Pattinson may learn something in the next 8 decades.
Right. If someone will inflate his face so it pops out into Hal Holbrook features.
You know, this movie for me, like, I think if it was released in like October, November, it would start generating that kind of like Oscar buzz. And the reason why it's just that familiar,
right,
drama, melodrama. it just fits right in that category. But the problem is that it's released in April. So I think any chance, I mean, I think there's some great cinematography in there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But
it's a good-looking film.
Oh yeah, but it's going to be that film that it's forgotten in about 4 or 5 months, and then when Oscar time comes around, you probably won't ever hear about it.
Now, see, you bring up the Oscar connections, and this reminds me of those films that are touted for Oscars that don't deserve to be in the consideration.
Yeah.
It's just for me, it was way too formulaic.
Oh, it's
way too by the numbers. I felt like I was watching a Lifetime movie with a more first-rate cast and a filmmaker who did things with the material that you wouldn't get out of a Lifetime movie. But it's still a Lifetime movie. I mean, I could have, 5 minutes in, I could have predicted where that film was going.
Oh yeah, but in a lot of, I've seen Oscar movies that have been nominated for that, and it has that feeling that they were trying to go for.
Right.
But you're right. I mean, it's so paint by the numbers. There's a part. I mean, there's screenplay dialogue it's like the first draft, and they're like, that's gold, like that. Because my favorite line in the whole movie is he looks at Reese Witherspoon and goes, "You're a beautiful person who deserves a beautiful life." And I was like, oh, that is so cheesy. Way to go.
And what makes that really bad is that the screenplay was written by Richard Le Gravenese, who's written good adaptations of including things like A River Runs Through It. So this guy's got a good pedigree, but here, I don't know if he was just working with bad material or what, but this, yeah. This is a treacle fest. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, I want to go back to Christoph Waltz because, like you mentioned, *Inglourious Bastards*. Even like in *The Green Hornet*, he gave a somewhat good performance in that movie.
Right.
But this one, every time he enters the room, it's just nothing else goes on around. It kind of reminded me of Christian Bale in *The Fighter*,
Right.
where no matter what is going on in that scene, you are looking right at Christoph Waltz.
Right.
And that is it. And for me, I mean, that's a true actor right there. And even if the dialogue is not, as well written as it could be, even if, the direction's a little weak, he's an actor who can pull the best parts out of it. And
yeah.
I love him for it.
I won't disagree with you there, but that made me want the material to be better for him. Because the difference between this film and *The Fighter* is there's a good film going on around Christian Bale. And
a unique film.
He helps turn it into a great film. Christoph Waltz is great in *Water for Elephants*. It's a pretty mediocre film, especially without Christoph Waltz. To me, Robert Pattinson and Reese Witherspoon just don't have chemistry.
They were, to me, forced together. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
When they do finally, obviously they're going to get together. I'm like, I guess. I mean, you kind of followed the right steps. Okay.
Yeah. She had much more chemistry with Christoph Waltz, which is a big problem.
It's true. It is true.
I was considering Christoph Waltz and the look of the film. I'm just really disappointed that it turned out as by the numbers as it does. I gave it 2 stars.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit above you because it is one of those things that I enjoyed it. Christoph Waltz is absolutely amazing. I'm going to give Pattinson some credit because he did something that I didn't think he could ever do. I mean, like, I wrote this kid off a long time ago. And he did something, he gave a performance. I mean, and I'll give it to him. So I'm going to go, and it's a little bit high, at 3 stars. I was going to say 2.5, but it's just a lot of surprises that took me by it. So there you have it.
You just want to fight. That's fine.
You want to?
You just want to fight.
Want to fight? Okay. Yeah, we want to fight. All right. Well, when we come back from this break, we're going to be reviewing the Paul Giamatti independent film Win Win, and we'll see what we think about that one. So we'll see you guys in a second.